If you live in the 21st century, you live in an age of chronic anxiety. We are not talking about that primitive, useful fear that saves us from imminent danger. We are talking about diffuse anxiety, the constant fog of worry about what might happen, what others might think, and the outcome of events that are miles away from your ability to intervene. It is the overwhelming burden of trying to be the manager of a universe that, frankly, does not care about your plans. But what if the key to disarming this anxiety was not in another breathing technique or a new meditation app, but in a wisdom forged over 2 millennia ago? Stoicism, the philosophy of emperors, slaves, and soldiers, offers a surprisingly simple and brutally effective antidote: the dichotomy of control. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus, himself a former slave, began his handbook for life, the Enchiridion, with a statement that should be the mantra of every modern human. Some things are under our control and others are not. This is not just a pretty phrase, it is the foundation of all peace of mind. What, in fact, is under your control? Only your inner world, your judgments, your opinions, your desires, and your aversions. In essence, your will. What is not? Almost everything else. Your body, your reputation, your wealth, the weather, your boss's opinion, the result of an election, the past, and the future. Modern anxiety is, in its essence, the confusion between these two categories. We suffer when we invest our emotional and mental energy in trying to manipulate the uncontrollable. It is like trying to dry up the ocean with a bucket. The Stoic teaches us to pause for 2 minutes, the 2-minute rule, and ask, where am I putting my energy now? Into what is mine, or what is not mine? When you find yourself dwelling on a criticism you received, ask, do I control that person's opinion? The answer is no. You only control your response to that criticism. You can choose to judge it as an offense or as useful information. Anxiety disappears the moment you reallocate your energy from the futile effort of controlling the external to the productive effort of controlling the internal. This dichotomy is not just ancient philosophy. It is the basis of cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, one of the most validated psychological approaches today. CBT works to change how we interpret events, our judgments, not the events themselves. Stoicism is the original CBT. Anxiety disappears the moment you reallocate your energy from the futile effort of controlling the external to the productive effort of controlling the internal. The Stoic does not deny pain, but denies that pain has the power to dictate your happiness. Pain is an external fact, uncontrollable. Suffering is an internal judgment, controllable. But how do you know the correct action to take, even when you decide to act? Stoicism is not just about acceptance, it is about virtuous action. And to guide that action, the Stoics gave us a moral compass, the Four Cardinal Virtues. They are the true north of any Stoic, and the only thing that, according to them, is intrinsically good. 1 practical wisdom, prudence. Not just intelligence, but the ability to make informed decisions in complex situations. It is knowing what is good, what is bad, and what is indifferent. It is the virtue that applies the dichotomy of control. 2. Justice, treating others with fairness and kindness. For the Stoics, we are social beings, and justice is the virtue that connects us to humanity. It is acting for the common good, even when it requires personal sacrifice. 3. Courage, fortitude. Not just physical courage, but moral courage. It is the ability to face fear, pain, and adversity with dignity. It is the courage to be vulnerable and to remain true to your principles. 4. Temperance, moderation. Self-control over your desires and appetites. It is moderation in all areas of life. ensuring you are not a slave to your impulses. It is the discipline that allows the other three virtues to flourish. When faced with a problem, do not just ask, "Can I control this?" Ask, "Which of these four virtues does this situation allow me to practice now?" If you are being criticized, wisdom tells you to ignore the uncontrollable, others' opinions, and courage allows you to remain calm. If you are angry, temperance prevents you from reacting impulsively. One of the most powerful and least known practices of Stoicism is the view from above. It is a meditation technique that involves mentally stepping away from your immediate problems and contemplating the vastness of the universe. Imagine yourself floating out of your body, seeing your home, your city, your country, the planet Earth. Suddenly, that annoying email, that silly argument, or the worry about what you will wear tomorrow become incredibly small. This practice has a profound psychological effect. It destroys the ego. The ego is the center of anxiety, as it makes us believe we are the center of the universe and that our problems are of cosmic importance. The view from above reminds us of our ephemerality and our interconnectedness. Marcus Aurelius used this technique to remind himself that he was just a man, not a god, and that the life of an emperor was as fleeting as that of a slave. By seeing himself as a grain of sand in the vast desert of time and space, the weight of responsibilities diminishes. The problem is not the problem, it is the size you give it. Stoic philosophy was not just theory, it was a daily practice. And the most important tool for this practice was the Stoic journal. It wasn't a diary of events, but a diary of judgments. The Stoics had a self-audit routine, morning routine, pre-meditation. Before starting the day, they prepared for challenges. What could go wrong today? Who might I meet who will be difficult? How should I react to maintain my virtue? This is premeditatio malorum in action. Evening routine. Review. At the end of the day, they reviewed their actions. Where did I go wrong? Where was I virtuous? What did I learn? This practice is a powerful exercise in metacognition, thinking about one's own thinking, which is the key to mental health. By writing, you externalize anxiety and turn it into an object of analysis. You stop being the victim of your thoughts and become the observer. The Stoic journal is where you apply the dichotomy of control, amor fati, and the four virtues. It is your personal philosophy laboratory. One of the biggest sources of modern anxiety is relationships, difficult people, criticism, envy, gossip. Stoicism has a surprisingly compassionate answer to this. Marcus Aurelius began his day by reminding himself, "Today I will meet an intrusive person, an ungrateful person, an arrogant person, an envious person, an unsociable person." He did not do this to get angry, but to prepare. He understood that the behavior of these people was uncontrollable, external to him, and that it was an inevitable result of human nature. The key is Stoic empathy. They believed that people act badly out of ignorance of what is good. No one chooses to be bad. They simply believe they are acting in a way that will bring them happiness, even if it causes pain to others. By seeing the difficult person not as a moral enemy, but as someone who is sick with ignorance, you disarm your anger. You cannot control what they do, but you can control your judgment of what they do. Anger is a punishment you inflict on yourself for someone else's mistake. Deepening the concept, the Stoics were not content just to accept the uncontrollable. They actively sought to love it. This is the concept of amor fati, the love of fate. The emperor and philosopher Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, wrote that the obstacle in the way becomes the way. Amor fati is not passive resignation. It is a radical acceptance of reality. It is understanding that every event, every setback, Every difficult person is the raw material the universe gave you to practice virtue. If you are a Stoic, you do not wish things were different from what they are. You wish them to be exactly as they are, because they are your training ground. To live this philosophy, you need daily practices. In addition to the 2-minute rule, the Stoics practiced premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of evils. Before an important event, they took time to imagine the worst possible scenario, not to get depressed, but to immunize themselves. By confronting the worst in the safety of your mind, you realize that, even if it happens, you have the capacity to deal with it. You train your will. In a world that sells us the illusion of total control, control over appearance, over success, over happiness, Stoicism offers true freedom. Freedom is not having what you want, but wanting what you have. Freedom is the understanding that you are the sole master of your mind. The challenge I give you today is, start applying the dichotomy of control. Separate your day into 2 columns, controllable and uncontrollable. And every time anxiety strikes, remember your power. You cannot control the wind, but you can adjust the sails. And that is the only thing that truly matters. We've reached the end of another journey of reflection. True wisdom lies not in accumulating knowledge, but in applying it. I invite you to think, what was the most powerful idea you took away from this video, and how can it change your next hour? Leave your answer in the comments. Your experience is what builds our community. If you value this type of content that helps you build inner strength, don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel, and share with others who need to hear this message. Thank you for watching until the end. See you in the next video.